On this day in history, we remember the remarkable individuals who shaped our world. Welcome to Who Died Today in History, where we honor their legacies. From artists to leaders, their impact lives on. If you find their stories meaningful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay connected. Elizabeth Taylor, one of Hollywood's most enduring icons, passed away on March 23, 2011 at the age of 79 due to congestive heart failure. Her death was the culmination of years of health struggles, including heart issues, scoliosis, and multiple hospitalizations. Taylor, who had lived much of her life in the public eye, faced her final days with the same resilience that had defined her career. Her passing reflected not only the frailty of the human body, but also the evolution of Hollywood's golden age stars, once larger than life, yet ultimately bound by mortality. Taylor's death marked the end of an era for classic Hollywood glamour. She was among the last of the screen legends who had risen to fame in the 1950s and 1960s, alongside contemporaries such as Marilyn Monroe and Audrey Hepburn. Unlike many of her peers who faded from public view, Taylor remained a presence in the media for decades, thanks to her activism, business ventures, and unrelenting charisma. Her passing was met with widespread mourning, with tributes pouring in from fans, celebrities, and world leaders who recognized her not just for her cinematic legacy, but for her humanitarian efforts. One of the most immediate consequences of her death was the renewed appreciation of her work, both on and off the screen. Films like Cleopatra, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof experienced a resurgence in viewership as audiences revisited her powerful performances. At the same time, her pioneering work in AIDS activism was highlighted as a crucial part of her legacy. Taylor had been one of the first major celebrities to advocate for AIDS awareness in the 1980s, using her platform to raise millions for research and support. Unlike historical figures whose deaths altered the course of history, Taylor's passing reinforced her legendary status rather than shifting the trajectory of the world. In many ways, it amplified her mythos. She was remembered not only as a stunning actress with violet eyes, but as a woman of immense strength, compassion, and business acumen. Her legacy lives on through the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, her vast filmography, and the enduring fascination with her life. From biopics to books and retrospectives, Taylor is continually immortalized as a symbol of Hollywood's golden past and its evolving social consciousness. Her death serves as a reminder that while mortality is inevitable, a life well lived, filled with art, activism, and resilience, can leave an impact that endures for generations. George Segal, the beloved actor known for his versatility in both drama and comedy, passed away on March 23, 2021, at the age of 87, due to complications from heart surgery. His death was a reminder of the inevitable passage of time and the fragility of life, particularly for an actor whose career spanned more than 5 decades. As a performer who adapted to changing eras, from the golden age of Hollywood to the rise of television sitcoms, Segal's passing marked the end of an era for many who had grown up watching his films and shows. Segal first gained prominence in the 1960s and 1970s, when he starred in films such as Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, A Touch of Class, and The Hot Rock. He was one of the few Jewish leading men of his time who embraced his heritage without being typecast, a testament to the evolving nature of Hollywood. By the 1990s and 2000s, he had successfully transitioned to television, gaining a new generation of fans as Jack Gallo in Just Shoot Me and later as the lovable Pop Solomon on the Goldbergs. His ability to reinvent himself for different audiences kept him relevant across multiple decades. The immediate consequence of Segal's death was an outpouring of tributes from co-stars, directors, and fans who appreciated his effortless charm and comedic timing. His passing was particularly felt in the television world, as the Goldbergs had to address his absence in the show, underscoring how deeply he had become embedded in popular culture. Unlike some actors whose fame fades over time, Segal remained a familiar and beloved presence in entertainment until his final days. While his death did not shift history's course, it solidified his legacy as an actor who brought warmth, humor, and depth to his roles. His passing served as a poignant reminder of how certain figures, though not political or revolutionary, become cultural touchstones simply by making audiences feel something genuine. Segal is immortalized through his extensive film and television work, which continues to be enjoyed by new viewers. His comedic brilliance, combined with his dramatic range, ensures that his contributions to entertainment remain appreciated. More than anything, his death reminds us that while the stars of Hollywood's past inevitably fade, their impact on storytelling and culture continues to resonate long after they are gone. Walter Cole, better known by his stage name Darcel 15, passed away on March 23, 2023, at the age of 92 due to natural causes. As the world's oldest performing drag queen, Darcel was a trailblazer in LGBTQ+ history, using his platform to promote inclusivity and self-expression. His passing marked the end of an era, not only for the drag community, but for generations who saw him as a beacon of resilience and joy. Born in 1930, Cole grew up in a time when gender nonconformity and LGBTQ+ identities were largely stigmatized. His journey to becoming Darcel 15 was one of self-discovery and courage, as he transformed from a military veteran into an icon of Portland, Oregon's entertainment scene. In 1967, he founded Darcel 15 Showplace, which became a sanctuary for drag performers and a safe space for LGBTQ+ individuals in an era when such spaces were rare. His club remained a landmark for over 50 years, making Darcel a symbol of endurance through shifting cultural landscapes. The immediate response to his passing was an outpouring of grief and gratitude from fans, fellow performers, and activists. Portland declared a day in his honor, and tributes poured in from across the country, recognizing his role in shaping drag as both an art form and a political statement. His death came at a time when drag performances and LGBTQ+ rights were once again facing political scrutiny, making his legacy all the more significant. His life's work stood as a reminder that drag is more than entertainment. It is a form of self-expression, resistance, and celebration. While his passing did not alter the course of history, it reinforced the importance of representation and advocacy. Darcel 15's contributions to LGBTQ+ culture helped normalize drag in mainstream entertainment, paving the way for future performers. His influence can be seen in the success of shows like RuPaul's Drag Race, and in the growing acceptance of drag as a legitimate and respected art form. Darcel 15 is immortalized through the continued operation of his club, the recognition of his contributions by historical societies, and the countless performers he inspired. His story underscores humanity's desire to celebrate individuality and fight for acceptance, proving that true legends live on not just in memory, but in the cultural shifts they help create. Ken Howard passed away on March 23, 2016 at the age of 71 due to natural causes, reportedly related to heart failure. A respected actor and president of the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, Howard's passing marked the end of a career that spanned decades in film, television, and stage. His contributions to the entertainment industry, both as a performer and an advocate for actors' rights, left a lasting impact on Hollywood. Howard's career began in theater, leading to his breakthrough role in the 1968 Broadway production of 1776. However, he became best known for his portrayal of Coach Ken Reeves in the 1970s television series The White Shadow, a groundbreaking show that addressed issues of race, class, and mentorship. As one of the first television dramas to feature a predominantly African-American cast, The White Shadow reflected the changing social dynamics of its time, tackling themes that were rare in mainstream programming. Beyond his acting career, Howard was a dedicated advocate for performers' rights. Elected as president of SAG in 2009, he played a pivotal role in the 2012 merger of SAG and AFTRA, a move that strengthened protections and benefits for actors across multiple media platforms. His leadership in this area showcased his commitment to fairness and equity in the entertainment industry, making his death a significant loss for those working behind the scenes as well as on camera. The immediate response to his passing was a wave of tributes from colleagues, actors, and union members who recognized his contributions to both the art and business of acting. His death was not as widely publicized as some Hollywood legends, but within the industry, it was deeply felt. His efforts to secure better working conditions and contracts for actors ensured that his influence extended beyond his performances, cementing his legacy as both an artist and an advocate. Howard's life and work reflect the broader themes of perseverance and service. His career spanned an era of change in Hollywood, from the socially conscious television of the 1970s to the evolving digital age, where he helped shape policies that continue to protect performers today. His contributions are remembered through the ongoing work of SAG-AFTRA, the continued relevance of The White Shadow, and the respect he earned from his peers. His passing serves as a reminder that an artist's legacy is not only defined by their roles on screen, but also by the impact they leave behind in their industry and community. Lil Chris, born Christopher James Hardman, passed away on March 23, 2015 at the age of 24. His death was ruled as suicide, highlighting the ongoing struggles with mental health that many young artists face in the modern entertainment industry. His passing was a tragic reminder of the pressures that come with early fame and the often hidden battles that accompany success in the public eye. Lil Chris first rose to fame in 2006 when he appeared on the UK reality show Rock School, where Kiss frontman Gene Simmons trained a group of British students to become rock musicians. His charisma, energy, and natural talent quickly made him a fan favorite, leading to a successful solo career. His debut single, Checkin' It Out, became a hit in the UK, and he released a full-length album soon after. However, despite his promising start, his career began to slow down, and he struggled to maintain the same level of success. In the years leading up to his death, Lil Chris had been open about his struggles with depression. He frequently spoke about mental health on social media, shedding light on the personal battles that many performers face behind the scenes. Unfortunately, despite his efforts to seek help and raise awareness, his struggles ultimately led to his tragic passing. His death resonated deeply within the music community and among fans, prompting discussions about the mental health challenges faced by young artists and the importance of support systems in the entertainment industry. The immediate response to his passing was an outpouring of grief from fellow musicians, fans, and mental health advocates. Many remembered him not only for his music but also for his kindness, humor, and the joy he brought to those around him. His death underscored the need for greater awareness and resources for mental health, particularly for young people in high-pressure careers. Lil Chris's legacy serves as both a celebration of his talent and a cautionary tale about the realities of fame and mental health struggles. His music continues to be remembered by those who grew up listening to him, and his openness about his struggles has contributed to ongoing conversations about mental health in the music industry. His passing reminds us of the importance of checking in on those who may be struggling, reinforcing the idea that no amount of fame or success can replace the need for support, understanding, and mental well-being. Dushan Monique Brown, best known for her role as Connie on the hit television series Chicago Fire, passed away on March 23, 2018 at the age of 49. Her death was attributed to sepsis, a severe and potentially fatal response to infection. The sudden nature of her passing shocked fans and colleagues, as she had been actively working in the entertainment industry just days before her death. Brown's career was a testament to the perseverance and dedication required to succeed in Hollywood. While she was best known for Chicago Fire, she had an extensive background in theater and television, appearing in shows such as Prison Break and various stage productions in her hometown of Chicago. Her work in television came later in life, proving that success in entertainment was not limited to those who found fame at a young age. Her story resonated with many aspiring actors who saw her journey as an example of persistence and resilience. Her passing reflected the broader conversation around health and the importance of preventative medical care. Sepsis is often treatable if caught early, but it remains a leading cause of death due to its rapid progression. Brown's death served as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of health complications, even for those who appear to be in good condition. It also underscored the importance of prioritizing healthcare access, particularly for those in demanding professions like acting, where long hours and stress can take a toll on physical well-being. In the immediate aftermath of her passing, the cast and crew of Chicago Fire mourned her loss and paid tribute to her both on and off screen. The show later honored her character, acknowledging the impact Brown had on the series and its audience. Fans remembered her not just for her acting talent, but for the warmth and kindness she brought to those around her. Brown's legacy endures through her work, which continues to be enjoyed by audiences worldwide. Her unexpected death reminds us of life's fragility and the importance of cherishing those who bring light and laughter into our lives. In a broader sense, her passing contributes to the ongoing discussions about health awareness, particularly within industries where long working hours and high stress are common. Through her performances, she remains immortalized in the hearts of her fans, proving that an artist's influence does not fade with their passing, but instead lives on through the characters they bring to life. Madeleine Albright, the first woman to serve as U.S. Secretary of State, passed away on March 23, 2022, at the age of 84 from cancer. Her death marked the end of a remarkable life dedicated to diplomacy, global affairs, and the advancement of democracy. Albright's passing came at a time of heightened geopolitical tensions, reinforcing the lasting significance of her work and the principles she championed throughout her career. Born in Czechoslovakia in 1937, Albright and her family fled Nazi-occupied Europe before eventually settling in the United States. This early experience of displacement shaped her worldview and deepened her commitment to democracy and human rights. Her tenure as Secretary of State under President Bill Clinton, 1997-2001, was defined by her staunch advocacy for U.S. intervention in global conflicts, particularly in the Balkans, where she played a key role in NATO's military action against Serbian forces during the Kosovo War. Her death was met with an outpouring of tributes from world leaders, diplomats, and scholars who recognized her as a trailblazer in international relations. President Joe Biden described her as a force for good, whose influence helped shape modern diplomacy. In many ways, her passing underscored the challenges of the era she left behind, an increasingly polarized world grappling with authoritarianism, war, and the fragility of democratic institutions. Her lifelong warnings against tyranny and complacency in the face of authoritarianism remained deeply relevant, particularly in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which had begun just a month before her death. Albright's legacy was amplified by the timing of her passing, serving as a stark reminder of the values she tirelessly defended. Her famous assertion that America was the indispensable nation in world affairs reflected her belief in U.S. leadership as a force for democracy and stability. However, her foreign policy approach was not without controversy. Critics argued that her support for sanctions in Iraq contributed to civilian suffering, a point of debate that remains in discussions of American interventionism. In death, Albright was immortalized through the institutions she helped shape, the policies she influenced, and the generations of diplomats she mentored. Her memoirs and writings continue to inspire those in public service, while her trailblazing career remains a testament to the evolving role of women in global leadership. Through history books, academic discussions, and even the symbolic imagery of her iconic brooches, each carefully chosen to send diplomatic messages, Albright's legacy endures as a powerful reminder of the impact one individual can have on the course of world events. Giulietta Messina, the celebrated Italian actress known for her collaborations with director Federico Fellini, passed away on March 23, 1994, at the age of 73 due to lung cancer. Her death came just 5 months after the passing of her husband, a poignant end to one of cinema's most enduring creative partnerships. Messina's departure marked not only the loss of a brilliant performer, but also the closing of an era in Italian neorealism and auteur-driven cinema. Messina's performances, particularly in La Strada, 1954, and Nights of Cabiria, 1957, embodied the spirit of post-war Italian cinema, raw, deeply humanistic, and profoundly moving. Her ability to portray vulnerability and resilience made her characters unforgettable. In a period when women in film were often relegated to glamorous roles, Messina brought depth and emotional complexity, reflecting a changing cultural landscape where cinema became a vehicle for social commentary. Her passing signaled the fading of a cinematic style that emphasized poetic storytelling over spectacle. The immediate reaction to her death was one of deep mourning, particularly in Italy, where she was regarded as a national treasure. Film historians and cinephiles worldwide recognized her as a singular talent whose expressive performances left an indelible mark on film history. Her death also reignited discussions on the role of women in European cinema and the significance of her collaborations with Fellini, reinforcing how central she was to his artistic vision. In many ways, Messina's legacy was amplified after her passing. As with many artists, her work took on a new level of reverence, with retrospectives and renewed critical attention. Film scholars re-evaluated her performances, recognizing her unique ability to blend Chaplin-esque physicality with profound emotional nuance. Her role in La Strada as the tragic, childlike Gelsomina became emblematic of neorealism's ability to capture the struggles of the human condition. Messina's death, like her life's work, serves as a meditation on memory, artistry, and the passage of time. She is immortalized through the films that continue to inspire new generations of filmmakers and actors. Her influence can be seen in the ways modern cinema embraces complex female protagonists, and her collaborations with Fellini remain a benchmark for artistic partnership. Through restoration projects, academic studies, and screenings of her greatest films, Messina's presence endures, proving that true artistry transcends mortality, living on in every frame of film she graced. Peter the Cruel, also known as Peter Wars of Castile, met a violent and brutal end in 1369. His death came at the hands of his half-brother Henry of Trastamara, in a dramatic and bloody confrontation that marked the conclusion of years of political turmoil and familial strife. Peter, a king whose reign had been characterized by his ruthless pursuit of power and his violent actions against his enemies, was ultimately betrayed in his final moments, reflecting the precarious nature of his rule. The circumstances of Peter's death were a reflection of the violent and unstable political climate of 14th century Castile. Peter had made enemies both within his family and among the nobility, due to his heavy-handed tactics and his alliances with mercenaries, most notably the Black Band, a group of violent French soldiers. His reign had been marred by allegations of tyranny, and his personal life, including his alleged cruelty to his wife and the murder of his half-brother, made him unpopular among his subjects and nobility. His death, therefore, did not come as a shock, but rather as the culmination of a series of conflicts and betrayals. The murder of Peter, though violent, was not without historical consequence. Henry of Trastamara, who had long sought to usurp the throne, quickly declared himself King Henry II of Castile after Peter's death. This shift in power set off a new era in Castilian history, marked by the rise of the Trastamara dynasty, which would rule over Castile for several generations. While Peter's death may have removed a despised ruler, it also left the kingdom embroiled in political intrigue and instability. It would take years for the region to stabilize under Henry's rule, and the legacy of Peter's reign would continue to haunt the monarchy. The death of Peter the Cruel, especially the manner in which it occurred, highlights the volatility of medieval politics and the constant threat of betrayal that powerful figures faced. His passing, though swift, left a lasting imprint on history, as it symbolized the capricious nature of power in a time where political rivals often resorted to violence to secure their claims. In the end, Peter's death amplified his legend, turning him into a tragic and somewhat romantic figure, immortalized as both a ruthless monarch and a victim of his own ruthless ambition. Over time, literature and art would reflect the complexity of his character. He was both a tyrant and a martyr, a man whose death became symbolic of the dangers of absolute power and the precariousness of life for rulers during that era. Through his story, humanity continues to grapple with the relationship between power, mortality, and the legacies we leave behind.